everyone, and welcome to episode 26 of My Mom Sandy. We're your hosts. I am Josh Fasten, and the woman next to me never takes a break, never takes a week off with a break, never takes a week off without a break, except for last week, in which she took a week off and had a break. This is My Mom Sandy.
Boy, that was confusing.
Or was it?
Do you really have it down? I mean, is that your final answer?
You want me to do it again?
Yeah, because I'm not really sure what you're saying.
And the woman next to me never takes a break, never takes a week off unless she takes a break, in which she took the week off and the
she
break.
took a break.
This is My Mom Sandy.
Okay, hello everybody. Nice to be back with you. It was kind of weird not doing it last week. I didn't know we weren't going to do it, period. I knew it was going to be late, but
Yeah, but you were like, oh, we can do one Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And that's too late. There's a window of opportunity.
I know, but then it just would have gone up on Wednesday. Instead of posting, we didn't do an episode at all, you just post episodes going up late this week. Sorry, folks.
Yeah.
I mean, all two of our listeners got upset.
You know what? We did. So two things. We received some very nice messages from people that were missing the episode.
I know. It surprised me.
We also received some very good, some very nice things from people who were inquiring about my health and saying nice things, which was great. Let me give everyone the update before we get into the episode because we got a lot to talk about. That was another thing last week was that I don't know how long it generally takes to get an ultrasound back of one's balls.
Also known as testicles.
Testicles, yes. Testicle balls.
Testis.
Do you think is a
testicles?
Is a testicle ball? Is that like saying like?
No, it's redundant.
Right, it's like saying like car,
exactly.
automobile car.
Yeah,
testicle ball.
My automobile car. I'm gonna go get my automobile car and drive to the store.
So I felt like Dr. Hammer should have gotten. We said his name last episode.
I didn't think we did.
Maybe we didn't.
No, we didn't.
Hi, Dr. Hammer.
Especially since you talked about. Never mind.
Maybe we didn't. All right, we'll just
anyway
forget I said that.
Yeah, Dr. Schmemmer.
I just didn't feel like. I felt like he should have got back to me a lot quicker regarding that particular test.
Well, just so you know, generally speaking, when you go and you have like an additional test done, if there's a problem, they usually like notify you like right away.
That's what one of my clients at work said. He said
if they like red flag that stuff, and so that the doctor would get that like way quicker than anybody else's.
The thing that was concerning though is that it's like a wild card because I'm like he's older. So does he see it and go, oh, I got to get to this, and then just forgets, and then it goes under a stack of papers?
Maybe you need to find another doctor.
I'm in the process.
Are you?
So I want to give everyone the good news. So I went in. So I mean, we didn't even talk about this. So the day after we recorded the podcast 2 weeks ago, I guess, I went in and I got an ultrasound of my testicle balls.
Redundant.
And which was a little bit of like a weird experience.
Did they put you in the stirrups like we said?
They did not. No, there was a table. It was a woman.
Did you put your legs up?
No.
Bend your knees?
No.
Did your balls like fall through a hole in the table?
No. And I came in the room. There was a woman and a man, and the woman gave me one of those like open butt robes.
Yeah.
And she was like, if you just take your pants and your underwear off, and then you put the open butt robe on.
Yes.
And then I didn't have, I had a sweatshirt on because it was a little chilly that day. And I said, is it okay? I wanted to keep that on, you know? And I was like, is it okay if I keep this? And she was like, yeah, that's fine. There's something about, I did not want to be completely butt naked under the open butt robe, you know?
But when you had your, physical, I guess, I mean, are you naked underneath there or you just keep your underwear on?
Naked underneath where?
Well, I'm sure they give you the paper gown to wear.
No, the doctor.
Yes.
When I do my physical, he just says, drop them. And then everything comes down and he.
So does he look at do you have a shirt on?
Yeah.
Does he like, I don't know.
He lifts the shirt up with his teeth.
Oh, that's pretty sexy and hot.
So I went in, I did it. There was a woman, the ultrasound, there was a woman who did it. She took, it looks like a mouse, like maybe like a computer mouse.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And she rubs it around the balls. And then there was a man.
Was she gentle?
She was nice. There was a man.
Did you get aroused?
No.
Oh.
I was like, we're checking for cancer. That's not anything
That's
arousing
not
about that. And then there was a man sitting at this like computer thing, and I don't know what his job was. Probably so you have to have like a.
Well, he has to read it. He has to make sure that they're getting a clear picture.
Maybe. So
it would be hard for her to. I mean, I've seen them do that. Like
she wasn't even like looking at the balls. Like she was like on like.
Yeah, no.
Here, put your hand up like a fist.
Like
okay,
a ball.
This is a ball.
A big ball.
This is a ball here.
Oh,
so
that's a big ball.
So she was like this.
Yeah.
And she was looking at like the screen.
So what was the other guy doing with the screen?
I think he was on AOL chat.
He was probably taking photos.
He was in a chat room.
He's like, we're gonna put this online later.
But she goes, "Oh,
doctor porn."
She goes, "Go ahead and lay down on the bed." And
on the bed?
Yeah, because it was like a bed. But it took everything in my power to not make the most inappropriate threesome joke. Like I just like
you should have. It probably would have made their day. What were you going to say?
I didn't think that this was how my first threesome was going to be.
You should have said that.
No, I just
my first menage a trois.
They didn't seem like they were a joking bunch there. Yeah, so
sometimes those medical people are a little dry.
So I get it done, and then I leave. And I'd asked her after she got done, because I was like, "Hey, how does everything look?" Because I was trying to get, because she's done this, right?
No.
No response. She was like, I can't tell you. So then I waited the rest of that week, and then the beginning of last week, which was.
Well, apparently he's not even in the office. I didn't know. I knew he wasn't there like Thursdays, but
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what other days he's not there, but
so the good news. He finally got a hold of me. He left me a voicemail, which was great because he's a hard man. The doctor is a hard man to get a hold of.
Yes.
And he said that no abnormal masses, no abnormalities. Typically, when they see cancer, it is some sort of mass in the testicle or the boob if it's breast cancer. You know. Mm-hmm. They don't have butt cancer, do they? They have prostate. And I would imagine
there is butt cancer. I mean,
not like
anal cancer, not on your skin.
Not of the cheek. You
no,
get like
butt cheek cancer. I don't think so.
I don't like it when we say things in unison like that. It's weird.
It's almost like we're a couple.
No, actually, it's not anything like that at all.
A couple.
No.
I know, like we've been dating for years or something.
Nope, doesn't. That's not where my mind went at all, actually.
But that's what it sounds like.
Nope, not at all.
Okay.
So,
maybe we're just both psychic.
Right.
There you go.
Totally. So, there's nothing wrong with my testicle balls.
Redundant, but good.
Yeah.
I know. I'm really happy to hear that.
Yeah. So that was.
I'm even more happy to hear that he finally got back to you and told you.
Yeah. So that was it felt, that was, a sigh of relief. That was a big, weight off my shoulders. I feel like one of the blood tests, I have mildly high cholesterol, which I need to be a little bit aware of, but he also didn't get a hold of me to talk to me about that. So,
well, what did he say about your blood work?
Nothing.
Well, when you went in to have your blood work done and have your physical, what was the plan? Was the plan...
That if I didn't hear from him in like a week or two, to get back in touch with him.
All right. Well, here's what I would suggest doing. I would suggest going onto the website and...
Messaging him
and just saying, is there anything I have the results from the blood work. Is there anything that I should be concerned about or anything that you're concerned about? Please advise. Thank you so very much.
All right. Very good.
All right. Very good. Sincerely, Josh.
I will do that tomorrow. So that's that. I wanted to catch everyone up to speed. Today, we are recording this late Sunday, early Monday.
Yeah.
Very tragic day in... I was going to say the world of sports, but I mean, I feel like it's just tragic in the world, LA, it's a big loss for LA.
For LA. Yeah, but Kobe Bryant had a lot. I mean, he was well known around the world. I mean, the Chinese loved him.
Yeah. So it was huge, just huge loss in general. So I woke up this morning, and I have a group chat with the guys on my hockey team, Trash Pandas Hockey, not a big deal. And they, one of the guys had said,
with the way you say that, nobody really is going to understand what you're saying.
Good.
It's Trash Panda Hockey.
Not a big deal.
Not a big deal.
Not a big deal.
Not a big deal. You didn't have to put that in there, but Trash Pandas Hockey. That's important because the club's taking donations.
Season tickets are available online.
That's right.
We play at the Trash Can. That's the name of our arena.
If you mention My Mom Sandy, you'll get 20% off
your season ticket order, and we'll set up a meeting.
There we go again, completing each other's sentences. So go ahead.
So one of them had messaged in the group chat and said, Kobe Bryant just died in a helicopter crash, and I was like, "There's no way." I was just, it's one of those like surreal things, and, I remember going, what's sad is that like the first website I went to look up if this was a thing was TMZ. Because I feel like they're the ones, they've got to have so many fucking inside people to be able to get information like this before any fucking news outlet, before any other fucking...
Did they have it before any news outlet?
Yeah, they were the first people to fucking report on it, which is crazy. So they had reported about it.
Well, they were reporting 5 people died, and it turned out there was 9
on
the flight. But what I'm wondering is, do they just have people on the ground or what? Everywhere?
I don't know. So, and so we were all chatting about it, and one of the things that I immediately was like, oh, that has to be a hoax. It has to, like, the TMZ website had to have been hacked. And, cause, there's been, over the years, there's been like these there'll be like weird things, like, I don't even want to say like a name of an actor, cause then if they die, I'd feel really bad. But there'll be like these things like, oh, so-and-so had a house fire and died, and then it'll just be like, oh, it was a hoax. He's fine.
I didn't know I didn't know they were doing that. Whoever they are.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
the infamous they.
And then as more information started coming out, it was like, no, this is real. This really happened. And I guess that was like helicopters were a fairly common use of transportation for him.
For him, yes. I think he lives in Newport.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Newport Coast.
Yeah,
so just a real sad day. I mean, it was like, I was talking to a friend of mine today, actually my friend Peter, and I was saying that he was very affected by it. He was a big Lakers fan, big Kobe fan. And I said a couple things. One of the things that I'd mentioned to him was that, you had to consider yourself, when anybody of this kind of this icon or this legend passes, you have to kind of look at it and say, well, hey, we were all lucky enough to be here to witness that person, to witness the great things they did. And also that, isn't it cool? Like for me and Peter are the same age. So we were able to grow up in a world in which we saw Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, and we kind of went through that era because that was huge. And then to also be able to go through, Shaquille O'Neal era as well as the Kobe Bryant era, and to be able to see him play, and an incredible career. So yeah, I mean, just a very sad day, and obviously, all sorts of, well wishes and prayers and
it's just so weird.
Vibes go out to the families that lost their loved ones today.
Yeah,
very sad.
It's just so weird that the difference in life and death is like, like a matter of seconds can be, I mean, just, I don't know.
It's one of those things where there's no, I was thinking about it earlier. I mean, there's no, if you, I don't know, if you like typed something into a computer wrong, you could go back and change it, Yeah. And like, that's one of those things where, because what I was reading actually was that it was due to the weather, the fog.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, they have.
There's all these reports.
They were supposed to, the pilot was supposed to be following the freeways because the fog was really bad. Matter of fact, I heard on the radio they had the control tower they had the control tower audio. So I heard that on the radio, and that's what they were saying. They were telling him to follow, that they were going from one control tower to the next. And, but I don't know. They said that they thought the plane was having issues. I mean, it's just weird that, because some people were saying it wasn't that foggy. It just would be weird that the helicopter would crash into a hill. I mean,
I've heard different things. One of the guys on my team had said that he had heard that there was like a fire on board before the helicopter crashed. Another person on the team had said, because he was he had done some stuff for the Air Force. He was special ops or something with the Air Force for a while. Really great guy. He had said some things about the possibility of a lot of the times when there is a helicopter accident or crash, it's because of fog or bad weather. And it's one of those things where they're like, we should not go, like we should not take off. And then the person, whoever's in charge, is like, no, we gotta go, you know, not saying that that's what happened, but you know, that was kind of, and then it's easy to get kind of turned around if you can't see what's going on, you know, so.
yeah, apparently it's a pretty big helicopter. It was like the limousine, the Lamborghini of helicopters, as what's his name said earlier today. Yeah, I am not a big basketball fan, but I know that Kobe Bryant was, you know, very popular. From what I hear, he's, you know, he wasn't one of those athletes that was really stuck up and better than you type of thing, that he treated everybody really kindly and did a lot of stuff for, you know, a lot of charitable work and stuff like that. So, and yeah, I mean, I tell you, I went out today and listened on the radio. I mean, on FM radio, which I, you know, don't always listen to, but they even had like all news all the time about Kobe. It was like, and the problem is that the more you listen to it, the sadder it all is. I mean, I shed a few tears, and then I feel really bad for his family. And well, also, you know, his 13-year-old daughter was there, which means that there was probably another child on board, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't released all the names yet, but, you know, I mean, look, it's, any way you cut it, it's a huge loss for any of the families involved who had lost people on that, you know, on that
and
flight.
He's got like a 3 or 4-year-old and like a 1-year-old. Not
even one. His last daughter, I think, was born June or July of 2019.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
like
wow.
young. So
wow.
that little girl will grow up never knowing her father.
That's sad.
You know?
That's really sad. Yeah, and the loss of the 13-year-old, that's really sad too. But, you know, like I told you earlier, I feel like if I was going to die at that age, to go with my father would be, you know, would make it not so bad.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, I have this belief that that there is an afterlife, and that, you know, you cross over, and they say that, you know, you past relatives come and take you, and it just would be nice to cross over with my father.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that it's incredibly sad, and you know, I would like to think the same, you know, that when things like that happen, tragic accidents like that happen, that it is something that they can, you know, the people or the families that it involves are together, and they can kind of move through that together, you know, however, whatever happens when we all die, you know.
Yeah, it reminds me of when we lost Chester Bennington. I mean, that was really impactful for me. I don't know why, and it still is. I don't know.
Yeah, I think though the difference, you know, for me in some of these like celebrity deaths, right? Like I remember I was, the one that like shocked me was like Anthony Bourdain, you know. But the difference in those, what I was going to say, the difference,
suicide.
Yeah, but so did Chester.
Yeah, I know.
You know, but that's what I'm saying is that like there's always going to be something, and look, you know, there's all sorts of stigmas and things with mental health and suicide and all these, but you know, there's always that thing that they talk about. It's like a very selfish way to go, is to commit suicide, because it affects so many people around you, and it's
yeah, but I don't think the suicidal person looks at it that way.
No, not at all.
I
think that they've gotten to a point where they
just can't
do
survive.
They can't do another minute of another day.
Exactly.
So you have like,
and it's hard. It's really hard for me to even to put myself in that mindset. Like, I remember when you were going to college and you said, I just can't go to class anymore. It makes me physically ill. And I thought, suck it up, bud. What's the problem?
I had a teacher that didn't speak English. And I was like, I can't believe I'm paying to go to this class with this teacher that doesn't speak English. This is horrible. What kind of garbage is this?
I didn't know that. Anyway, my point is that I always think, as bad as it is in our lives at times, there's nothing that bad that's going to last that long. It's just hard for me to put myself in that spot where it would be like, I just can't do this another day. I just can't. Like, I have to take my life because I can't do it. I can't. But I understand that there are people that are tortured like that. And, I totally get that. But again, it was unexpected.
It was unexpected, but I think that, there's a little bit of difference in when you have
an
someone,
accident,
right?
When somebody takes their
like Kobe Bryant woke up this morning, I'm sure in this great. I think they were saying that they were heading the people on the plane were heading to like a basketball practice or a game or something for his daughter. So it's one of those things where I'm sure there's this excitement and this happiness and this and also what a great life that you live, that you're able to be fortunate enough to be able to travel by helicopter to go to these things, and then to have such
carbon footprint. Go ahead.
And then to have such a tragic accident like that happen, that sucks. Not that the state of someone like Chester Bennington or Anthony Bourdain or what was there was another singer, Chris Cornell.
Yeah.
The mental state of them was not super tragic as well, because you got to imagine that there was probably mental health issues or things that stemmed from other things that caused them to get to that point to where they're like, I can't go on. And for me, like, I remember, waking up in the morning on the day that they announced that Anthony Bourdain had committed suicide, and it was like, oh, Anthony Bourdain, dead at such and such. And I was like, in my head, I was like, it has to be
Kate Spade too.
Kate Spade, yeah. But like, it was like, it has to be a heart attack. It has to, like, Anthony Bourdain was like this like man's man of like, he travels, he drinks, he eats these like
exotic,
but
shit,
but he would like go places. He's like, oh, we're gonna drink whiskey all night, and we're eating these like triple baked potatoes with butter cream sauce. And I'm just like, fuck, Anthony Bourdain is living the life, I
know, but apparently he was very tortured, and I don't know from what, but Chester Bennington was the same way. And here's the thing: is their outward appearances to us, they like you said, they look like the man's man. They look great. They got the perfect life. They've got money. They've got security. They've got love. They've got, every reason to be happy, and somehow they're not.
Yeah, Anthony Bourdain. You look at him, you're like, this guy's a fucking stud. Chester Bennington. You're like, here's this, extremely talented, this rock star. I
know. There's a voice that just, I don't know, just unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah. Either way, it's all very tragic. This is, even when Michael Jackson died, not that I like Michael Jackson, but it was shocking. It's like, what do you mean Michael Jackson died?
Yeah. Michael Jackson is one of those people, and I don't even want to get into the whole thing, right? Because there's a lot of back and forth with that particular person. I think the one thing...
I'm just saying it was shocking.
No, it was very shocking.
When it came out on the news, I was like, what do you mean Michael Jackson
That's
died?
what I was going to say, is that I think the one thing that you cannot argue about Michael Jackson is that he was this like legendary figure, this iconic figure. And yeah, I remember, I think I was playing in a band that had a show that night, and I remember, all of a sudden, it starts trickling right? That like, oh, there's reports of Michael Jackson. Cause I think at first it was like he was in a coma. Something had happened and he was in a coma. And it was like, okay, well, he's not dead, and then and look, love him, hate him. I think you have to acknowledge that, he made iconic songs. You have to say that, he made and he made a definite footprint on artists and music today, but yeah, it was very shocking. Very shocking. But I mean, there's tons of stuff like that though. Tons of, David Bowie. I didn't even know David Bowie was sick.
I know, and I think maybe what it is that it just makes us realize that, like I said, the difference between life and death could be just a matter of seconds. On top of that, how fragile life really is. Like you said, you get up in the morning and, you get up in the morning, I'm going to drive up to PV today. And then you get in a bad car accident and you die. Or you have a heart attack and you die. I mean, it's just, life is very fragile.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's, I think that the one thing that the takeaway from today is, is that exactly what you just said, is life is fragile, and to make sure that, you tell the ones that you love them, and, give them a hug, and, try to make the most of each day that we're here, because tomorrow's not ever promised, right? Like you don't know
That's right.
You don't know what's going to happen, so.
So with that said, I'm going to tell you, Josh, I love you.
Oh, Mom, I love you too. And I'm so glad that we get to do this podcast together.
I know, even though we missed a week. Sorry, you guys.
Yeah, well, there's a lot happening.
Yeah.
There's a lot happening.
So, all right.
So that was a big, we just wanted to touch on that. By the time this drops, there'll probably be more details and stuff that has come out about it, but it would have felt weird to do this episode without talking about that or acknowledging that. So big loss. I was not really a huge basketball fan either, but I can definitely acknowledge the what he did for the sport, and just, just legend, and that's the thing, whatever word, right? Icon, legend, you're going to use to describe him.
Didn't he have shoes too?
Yeah, he's had some shoes.
Yeah.
He wore shoes.
I know he wore shoes, but I mean, I don't know. I just heard, I hear always that the Chinese just love our basketball players.
I mean, even just, look, like something in like for him, for Kobe, and like being this basketball superstar and this pop culture, icon. I mean, there would be times, in the hockey, we didn't do it tonight, but like, over the years, like we'd finish a hockey game in the locker room, and we would undo the shin pad tape. You tape your shin pads with this tape, and you would ball it up, and you'd like shoot it into the trash can. You'd go, Kobe, and so like something like that, right? Is that, and now that has a totally different thing, right?
Yeah.
And something that was so common to do, right? So common to say, it's like it's kind of it's almost like you don't even want to say that anymore, But I will say, the good thing is that legends really do live forever, and everything he did, and again, we were so lucky to be a part of that time, and to have those those memories, and be able to look at that and share that with generations to come.
Yeah. I just have to mention, this is kind of off the subject, but when I was driving home today, I was listening to the radio. I guess it must have been AM radio this evening. It's like animal radio, it's an animal show. There's like 3 people that do it, but it was very interesting because one of the gals, that's on the show was talking about the bed bug registry. That's the first time I've ever heard anybody on the radio talk about the bed bug, or on a podcast. And I'm like, God, they must have got that from us.
You think she listens?
No, I think she said she's crazy about bed bugs. She says every time I travel, she says I always check out the bed bug registry. And of course, the 2 people that are on the show with her are like, well, what's that? Well, it's you type in wherever you're going, and they'll tell you if there's been bed bug reports there.
You should have called in.
I was driving. I don't even know if it's a live show, to be honest with you. It might, because usually Sundays, a lot of Sunday shows on the radio are like repeat, like talk radio or repeat shows from the earlier in the week. So I'd never heard the show before, but I was like blown away because the gal says that when she has a routine. She says that when she comes home from a trip, she launders everything in her suitcase and she vacuums it. Now I don't vacuum mine, but
she vacuums the clothes or the suitcase?
She vacuums the suitcase.
Wouldn't it be weird to lay your clothes down and then vacuum your clothes?
No, you have to wash them though. I do that when I get home.
Do you do?
I do.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've stayed in, I think we talked about this when we talked about the bedbug episode, but I mean, I've stayed in really fucking shitty hotels across the country. Like when I was touring, and playing music, I mean, we were in really shitty hotels.
Well, they may not have been prevalent then.
Bed bugs.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe not.
They are very much so now. As a matter of fact, LA came in number 4. I don't know if that was statewide or nationwide for bed bugs. It's late. We're yawning. We should just like sign off and go to bed.
We should just build a fort.
Really?
Maybe that's what we have. Like, we'll just tell them because they can't see us. But we actually built a fort before we started this episode.
Remember, we used to build forts when we were a kid. Remember, we'd go over to Terry's and build forts.
Yeah,
that was fun.
That was good times.
Tunnels and blankets and pillows and.
It would get really hot.
Yes, but you come out for a breather and go back in. Because it's so much fun.
Sounds like, yes.
Anyway, I just wanted to mention that I heard that on the radio today, and I thought, wow, that's so weird that she's talking about bedbug registry. So there are people out there that know about it, and it is an important thing to know about.
Bedbugs.
Check it out, bedbugregistry.com.
And if you go to bedbugregistry.com and you enter promo code MyMomSandy, you'll get actually Sandy's registry. You'll get my itinerary as to where I'm staying.
I don't do the inspection. I really should, but
what do you have there?
Well, I don't know if everybody knows, but I've been cleaning out my mother's home, and I found a bunch of old newspapers. I brought them for Josh to look at and see if they're worth anything, and some magazines about the Kennedy assassination. And
which I believe we talked about in our Thanksgiving episode.
Was that oh yes, we did.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I thought there's a bunch of articles. I mean, like my mom apparently, or somebody, like even they didn't save the whole paper, it's just the article.
Yeah, they couldn't have fucking cut
December
that a little bit
18th, 1963. No, this is an old fucking newspaper. 1963, how many years is that? 40? 60, 70, 80, 93, 2003, 13, 50, 56?
57.
57 years old. I'm surprised that even... Whoops, I just tore it.
What do you think? What do you think happens? Do you think it just disintegrates?
Yeah.
Just turns to dust?
Well, we actually found some in one of the cupboards in the garage in my mother's house. My brother and I this summer found bags of nuts. There was a bag of almonds and a bag of pecans, and when we pulled them out of the cupboard, they just disintegrated.
The nuts or the bags?
The nuts.
Bag-o nuts?
The bag-o nuts. So anyway, what happened to this? Oh, it's right here. So I just found it kind of interesting because I was going through some of the Kennedy assassination memorabilia, and there was an article that kind of struck me. And to be honest with you, this was on Sunday something, the Philadelphia Inquirer. Don't know what date, or maybe it's on this side. Oh, December 15th, 1963. And this article says, Reds pin assassination on Murder Inc.
Murder Inc.
Yeah. And it's interesting. This is, this came out of Moscow.
Moscow. That's a fun club.
Anyway, it says the Russian newspaper Red Star. Now keep in mind.
You're not going to read the whole article, are you?
No, but keep in mind that at the time, they're a totally communist country. Russia. Yeah. So.
Is that who the Reds are?
Yeah. That's what they used to call the Russians, or the Reds.
Jesus.
I know, it's not politically correct this day and age.
Unbelievable. I mean, look, not even that long ago, right? Like less than 60 years ago. Yeah. We just used to say all sorts of printed shit in newspaper.
Well, what's wrong with Reds? You got to remember, Russia, they were red.
Right. I know, but instead of saying the Russians or...
I know, but they were like our enemy. We were in a Cold War with them.
I know, but I'm just saying, it's like the neuropaper that I have downstairs.
Oh, yes.
You can't,
you can't say that now.
I have a
It's about the bombing of Pearl Harbor.
But you can't...
You could quote it.
Right, but I don't... It's just funny what people were able to get away with.
Well, no, it wasn't what people were able to get away with. It's what people now are talking about as being politically correct, not offending anybody. I mean, to a certain extent, I agree with it, but I think we kind of take it too far at times.
Yeah, I don't know. I
mean, when they start telling you that in your business, your place of business, that if you refer to somebody as a pronoun, as a he, she, or a he or a she, then you're in trouble. I mean, that's weird because, now you got to change your whole thought process and be afraid to say the wrong thing.
I don't think it's
call somebody the wrong thing.
But I don't think it's about being afraid necessarily. I think it's just identifying that there's just more out there now, and it's being able to.
I know, but who knows what you say offends people?
I think that it's just about being better. It's just striving to be better and not offending. I mean, look, I remember watching.
I know, but people are offended by stupid things these days. I mean, little itty bitty.
I don't know if it's our decision to.
And I'll start making a list for next time of things that are stupid that people get offended by.
I mean, look, I watched. Remember the movie Peter Pan, Disney movie?
I do remember that movie.
Okay. And in that movie, Peter goes and visits the Native Americans and Princess Tiger Lily. And I thought there was like a little thing going on between him
Peter and Tiger?
Yeah. No, Tiger's a golfer.
Tiger Lily?
Tiger Lily is the princess in Peter Pan.
We'll call her Lily.
And her father was the chief of the
Indian tribe,
the Native Americans.
What? Can we not call them Indians?
I don't know, but
see, that's okay. That's a ridiculous thing because
it's not at all
because I don't want to offend anybody, but I grew up calling Indians Indians.
Right
now, there's Indians that are Native American Indians, and there's also Indians from India. What would you call those Indians from India? Native American Indians? No,
because that's not what they are.
Well, you have to give them another name instead of calling them an Indian.
I just think that
they're a person who lives in India.
Here's the thing: I would just rather be completely, PC. Is that the
politically correct?
Yeah, I just would rather But so what my whole point in this was that they do a song in Disney's Peter Pan that the chief sings about how the red man got so red. And it's like,
I didn't even know that.
Unfucking believable that was
well, are they red?
In Peter Pan, the movie, they're like red.
Well, then maybe that just applies to the movie.
But Native American people are not red. But that's a derogatory term that they were presenting in a cartoon for children.
So should we ban the movie?
I don't think we should ban the movie, but I think that that was what I'm saying is that it's crazy how that was not that long ago.
Peter Pan?
Yeah.
How long ago was it?
Well, let me pull out my Google device.
Yes, look for Google, please. Google schmoogle.
Peter
Pan.
Pan.
What we usually call most men Peter Pans. The man who never grew up. The boy who never grew up.
Peter Pan movie.
Peter
the
Pan
book
movie.
Was from
Disney. Well, did they sing the song in the book?
1953. God, 1953. Jesus.
See, it's older than I am.
Do you think? I mean, that was like Kennedy was killed in 63.
I know. 10
Do you think
years
he was watching
later.
Peter Pan? 53.
Yeah, he would have said, "What? He saw Peter Pan. His kids probably saw Peter Pan."
God, that's weird. 53.
I know.
When we're
When we're what?
I was gonna say. I mean, women were allowed to vote in the 20s.
1952.
Yeah. 1919, 1920. But what I was going to say was that, I mean, it just hasn't been that long of a time from these things that you just consider so like, oh, well, this, of course you are not going to call Native American people Redskins. You know,
Well, they still have.
You can't say that.
Well, no, they still have, number one, they got the Chicago Blackhawks. Those are.
I know, the Cleveland Indians. There's a lot of stuff in sports that is probably not okay.
And the Washington Redskins. And that's been, you know, for years they've been trying to get them to change their name. They have a
you know where
a trademark. They
you know
have
where the LA Dodgers, you know where the Dodgers name came from?
Brooklyn.
What? Yes, but do you know where the name the Dodgers, because they were draft dodgers?
They were Doyers.
No, that's not.
Doyers, that's how you say it in Spanish. The Doyers.
I don't think so.
They were draft dodgers? They were not.
No,
draft
they weren't.
dodgers.
That's a lie. Isn't it great though? The LA Kings. I mean, you can't. That's a strong name.
I know it's
a
not
strong
I know,
team
it's not
name.
It's not like stupid Sharks or Ducks. Oh my God.
Well, no, I was because we were talking about like
or what's a Minnesota Wild? What the fuck's a Wild?
Wild.
It's wild.
They're wild.
It's a wild, baby.
They're going out to the club and they're getting wild.
Sorry, but I'd rather be a king than be a wild. A wild sounds too crazy. Anyway, back to my thing.
Back to your article. Yes.
Yeah, I just thought this was really interesting because I never knew this when I was growing up. Actually, I found out a few things from my past that I never knew when I was growing up.
From your past?
Yeah, for my past. I found tons of pictures, baby pictures that I'd never seen before. I found there was an incident when my brother Mike, your uncle, the one that was here this summer, him and the two neighbor boys, I don't know if you know this, but when we lived in Virginia, we had these plants.
They ate ants.
No, we had these plants.
With Jeff Hayden.
No.
Jeff Anton.
No, Jeff Anton. That's right.
Sorry, Jeff.
No, sorry, Jeff, if you're out there listening. No, that we had these plants we had a big, huge backyard, and the back of the backyard, like where the property line was, there was these bushes, and in the bushes were these little red berries. So my brother Mike and the two next door neighbor kids went out and ate these berries, and they came home for lunch, and somebody noticed that they had like a smudge of berry on their shirt, because the boys would never say, "Oh, we ate those berries." They just did it. So anyway, the parents found out, my mom and the next door neighbor lady found out that the boys ate pokeberries and they're poisonous. And so they had to give them mustard water. They had to drink mustard water to induce vomiting.
The fuck is mustard water?
You take a glass of warm water and pour mustard in it and stir it up and drink it. Yeah. And I don't think that made them vomit. But then I think they went to the hospital, and I think they all had their stomachs pumped. I think. I'm not sure.
How do you pump a stomach?
I'm not sure. I was just thinking the same thing. Oh my God.
God, we've just been dating for so many years.
I know. We really need to break up.
Do you think they put a plunger on your belly and just pump?
No, they got to go down through the esophagus.
Oh, this seems
They probably put a tube down there with a little vacuum at the end and
just suck everything
vacuum it out. Yeah.
I hope it's a Dyson.
But there was actually a newspaper article about it, and it mentioned everybody's names. I mean, first name and last name.
But you weren't in the article.
No, I wasn't. No, but I like found this article, and I was like, I don't fucking believe that. I never knew that there was I mean, you know, I was in first grade at the time. So how would I, you know, it wouldn't have meant anything to me anyway. But now that I'm older, I'm looking at this. I'm like, oh my God, my brother's whole pokeberry incident is like documented.
P-O-K-E?
P-O-K-E, pokeberry.
Or is it in relation to poke?
Poke, isn't that a meat?
That's like a fish. Poke.
Poke? No.
Do they have poke berry bowls?
No, it's just poke berry bowls. And then after that, you drink a little mustard water and it induces the vomit. Yes. Anyway, I found that out, which was
do you do a shot of mustard water, or do you like make a whole glass?
I think what they were doing was like holding their nose as they were trying to guzzle it down. And that was just until the paramedics came.
Oof.
The ambulance took them away. Yeah.
What do you think the berries tasted like? You
I
think they were
don't know.
like
I have to ask my brother. I don't even. I'll bet my brother doesn't know there was a newspaper article, and he probably won't know from this podcast because he doesn't fucking listen. But anyway, whatever. I'll tell him when I talk to him this week. I'm going to talk to him. So anyway, I just want to go with this. So this was a really interesting article. Again, I never knew this, but I'm just going to read the first part of it because it's easier to read it than it is to explain it because it's very far-fetched. It says the Russian newspaper Red Star put the finger Saturday on Murder Inc., that's in quotes, as the probable killer of President Kennedy and said the assassination played into the hands of, in quotes again, Texas oil millionaires. Is this like really absurd? I've never heard this. Dallas police authorities termed the story ridiculous, of course. The Soviet news agency TASS reported that Red Star, the organ, which is weird, of the Soviet Defense Ministry said, judging by the facts that have already become known, Murder Incorporated, a gangster corporation of killers well known in America, was instructed to remove Kennedy. The corporation operates secretly, but its actions are well known in the United States. It physically destroys hundreds of people. In Chicago alone, the corporation killed some 1,000 people in the last 23 years of its activity, and only a few of these crimes were ever uncovered. Is that weird? I mean, to me, that's weird. I always thought that, I mean, there was a conspiracy theory about the mob taking out Kennedy.
Right. So, I mean, that was like one of the big things that they talked about.
But not like oil millionaires. That's totally
well, no, but so this said,
mob.
like I just looked it up, Murder Inc. It says that they were an organized crime group in the 30s and 40s that acted as the enforcement arm of the Italian-American mafia, the Jewish mob, and connected organized crime groups in New York and elsewhere. I mean, fucking...
I never heard of them before.
How cool, fucking, you know what I want? I want a fucking cool, you know they used to have like cool like mobster, like gangster names?
Yeah.
I want like a cool
like
gangster name.
Lefty?
Yeah, like this is originally headed by Louis Lepke Buchalter, and later by the most feared mom boss.
Mom boss?
Real mom boss.
I'll be a mom boss. I could be a mom boss.
You are a mom boss.
I am a mom boss.
And later by the most feared mom
Sandy.
boss, Albert the Mad Hatter Anastasia.
So what would our names be? Josh the Jeckler? Josh the
Jeckler?
The Jeckler? The Juggler?
Is Jeckler
the jackass? No, I don't think so.
Did you just make up Jeckler?
I did. Here, I have a gift for you. I have a gift for you.
Is this my mom? Is this my boss name? Is this the Jekyll?
No, it's the Jekyll.
What is this? Oh yeah, you were telling me about this. I don't want to say this. What this is on the.
Right, you might get in trouble.
I know, but we can play with this later.
Isn't that cool?
This is great. Yeah.
It's something that my father owned when he worked for the Central Intelligence Agency.
I wish that his name was on it.
Don't tell anybody. No, you don't put your name on anything with the CIA.
That's true.
Fucking A. He probably had an alias. I bet he did. I think he did. I don't know what his alias was.
Probably like Lefty.
Lefty Summers.
Wait, there was another one. By former mob member Abe Kid Twist Relis. Like, what cool names.
How do you get Kid Twist? What are you, twisting kids when you're little? We got in fights and I twisted them, so they called me Kid Twist.
And Benjamin Bugsy Siegel. And
what's a Bugsy?
Charles Lucky Luciano. Just cool names.
Yeah. So what would yours be? Josh?
I guess the Jekyll.
Josh the Jekyll.
Not even quite. I'm going to Google that.
Or Jackass.
No, that's not it. How do you spell Jekyll?
That's, I don't know. It's that cartoon with the two crows.
Oh, Heckle and Jekyll.
Heckle and Jekyll.
So I'm Josh the Jekyll. Wow. Fuck me. Thank you. Am I the one with the squinty eye, or am I the one? Can you just look at the picture? Am I the one with the squinty eye, or the one? Which one am I?
I think you're the one like this.
Oh, okay.
I think you're not the one with the squinty eye.
Josh.
Josh the Jekyll.
The Jekyll. Cool.
And what would I be?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I even want to talk about this anymore. I went from thinking I was going to have this really cool name to being Josh the Jekyll.
Well, think of a really cool name. What goes with J? That's a problem.
Too late now.
I mean,
ruined it.
What's the guy, Lucky Luciani? I mean,
yeah.
It's kind of like, it sounds good together.
Yeah.
You got to have something with a J.
Okay. Or an F.
Josh the... We don't have a lot of choices.
No.
Josh the...
Who would you be?
Frankly, Fasten.
Sandy the...
I just swallowed funny.
Oh. Sandy the Swallower. Sandy the Swallower Fasten?
No.
After you shot and killed your people, you would do a good swallow. You'd go,
Sandy the Spitter is more like it. After I kill my people, I spit on them.
Spit on them.
That's right. Poo.
Sandy the
Sandy the shh.
Because it's too loud.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good either.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't have the mob mentality to, I mean, I'm sure there's a reason that they have those names. Like there's something that happened that either they gave themselves that name for that reason or somebody saw it and, like, not Lucky, but what's the other guy? Twisted Kid? Kid Twist. I mean, that's weird. I mean, where the hell you get that name from? Kid Twist.
Maybe he would drink.
Maybe he was like a pretzel. He could maybe he was like double jointed and he could twist up into different.
Maybe when he was a kid, he drank martinis with a twist. Kid Twist.
He's a kid and he's putting a twist in his martini.
Yeah, like the older mob guys are like, hey, fucking Abe, have a martini. And
yeah, there's a little kid twist. They go,
yeah, you're gonna drink this with the twist. And he's like, hey, call me Kid Twist. I don't know.
I love it when you do your Italian.
My mob.
Your mob.
Yeah.
What's the name of that movie that we love?
Goodfellas.
Shawshank
Redemption.
Yeah, no,
that
Goodfellas.
was what was in there were a lot of prison tattoos in Shawshank Redemption. Yeah.
No, there wasn't any, but I just yeah. Anyway, all right. So anyway, I just thought that was interesting. Murder Inc. Oil billionaires.
Was there a rap group called Murder Inc?
No, that was the Shoulders you're thinking of. The Shoulders Inc.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really, I really don't like when you beat me to that one. But
well, you set me up too good. You do set me up too good.
You could be Sandy the Shoulder.
Sandy the Shoulder.
That's
Sandy the Shoulder Fasten. I like that. What the fuck does that mean, though? I only have one shoulder? Sandy the Shoulder.
You walk with like a...
I do walk funny, don't I? I'll just gimp around with one shoulder
Sandy
up
the Shoulder.
One shoulder down. So, anyway.
We locked her up. We threw away the key after that massacre in Boston.
That's right.
Sandy the Shoulder. It's cold-hearted bitch.
All right.
Mom boss.
All right. Are we done?
Yeah, I got nothing else.
I got nothing else either.
Okay.
Are we ever going to do a live episode?
Don't know. Let's see if people want it. Because here's my concern at this point. We're going to do it, and we're going to be sitting here, doing this.
Twiddling our thumbs.
Yeah, we're going to be kid twisting.
Kid twisting. Yeah. Well, that is a problem. Well, maybe people could let us know if they're interested in a live episode. I mean, I don't get why people don't communicate with us more. I don't get what the problem is. I mean, they can reach us on our email. They can reach us on Instagram.
It's weird. There was like a couple people that was like, I mean, we didn't post an episode. It was like the fucking end of the world for them.
I know. They had tears and sad faces and...
But then I'm just like, okay, well, can you guys write in and fucking talk to us and just say something?
I know. Be like, great episode.
I did want to say something. So my cousin Brian, he apparently does not sell speculums.
Yes.
And he
or
does
medical equipment,
medical devices
or pharmaceuticals. But what does he do?
I think he sells drugs.
But that's pharmaceuticals.
No, like
illegal drugs. Okay, that's not cool to say that.
Oh, okay.
But
he doesn't do that.
But here's my thing: is
what would his name be?
Didn't he text you and say I don't sell this or that?
Yeah.
But he didn't tell you what he does do.
No. Sketchy.
That is a little sketchy.
Brian the Bounce House.
Brian the Bounce House.
Yeah.
Why did he get stuck in a bounce house? Once?
No, but like maybe his shoes are like very rubbery, so whenever he walks into a house, he like
bounces up to the ceiling. Okay. Maybe, Brian, you could let us know what you actually do for a living.
Yeah, let us know what you... And he's been telling people
because we'll give you a plug.
We'll give you a plug. We'll send him to your website, brianbouncehouse.com.
Right, and he's been telling his friends... He's been telling his
friends about the podcast.
I know.
What do you think happens when you go to brianbouncehouse.com?
I don't even want to know.
It's probably so bad. Don't go there.
Do you suppose...
Don't enter the promo code.
Do you suppose, really, there is something like that? brianbouncehouse.com? Is there something like everything? I mean, is everything on the internet?
I bet you the shoulders are.
Everything.com?
Brian Bounce House. It's like a guy who runs his own bounce house business. Yeah,
bouncer business? Or a bounce house. Are we talking about a bouncer like at a bar or a bounce house like what the kids have that they bounce in when they...
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
No, brianbouncehouse.com does not seem to be...
It doesn't exist. So look, Brian, it's available.
Buy it now.
You can buy it now. I just renewed mine. My bounce house.
Oh, perfect.
No, my whatchamacallit for my business.
Yeah, I have no idea what my cousin Brian does for a living.
I like that, My Cousin Brian. It almost sounds like My Cousin Vinny, like it should be a movie or something.
We could do a short.
A short movie?
A short film.
Yeah.
About My Cousin Brian.
I really...
Who would play Brian?
I loved it when Brian came over and he knew all about the 90 Day Fiancé couples.
I know, he knew the stuff.
I know. It's like, wow, he really listens.
Who would play him? You know who I would like to see play My Cousin Brian?
Who?
M. Night Shyamalan.
I don't know what M. Night Shyamalan looks like.
That's why I'm going to pull him up on the phone. M. Night Shyamalan.
Would that be N-I-G-H-T or K-N-I-G-H-T or?
N-I-G-H-T.
Yeah.
Like with like a short haircut? Oh, yeah. This could be good. This could be good. Oh, yeah. Like My Cousin Brian.
Oh, yeah. He kind of looks like that. Wow.
M. Night. But like in like another, like, obviously we're not going to get like a total, oh, this is My Cousin Brian. But M. Night?
Yeah, I guess. He's a little bit darker than Brian. A little bit more ethnic.
Yeah. But it would make
I don't know what, but... I don't know what ethnic group, but...
Or what about Haley Joel Osment?
Let me see him. Is that a him or her?
Yeah.
Haley Joe?
What kind of movie are we
Miley Cyrus or something?
You like him for My Cousin Brian?
No, God, that's gross. Is that him?
Sorry, Haley Joel.
Is that Haley Joel?
Haley Joel.
Oh, I thought it was Haley Joe.
No, that's...
Haley Joe. Haley, like Miley Cyrus type.
You got to get some new seats in the my mom's
I know,
Sandy
this one's actually better than that one. That one
podcast
sucks.
studio.
I know. Well, if Nancy Neighbor ever comes over, if I ever get done what I'm doing now, Nancy Neighbor can come over and we can...
And then she can be on an episode.
We bought the stuff. We actually bought the stuff to fix the chairs. But I know that one's just... We need to move that one. We need to get another one in here. Break it in.
Okay.
So maybe we'll do that tonight while nobody's sleeping downstairs and
all right.
We don't have to worry about...
Got it. So, all right, let's get off. Let's go. Let's move away from this.
All right, yeah, we need to go.
Really quickly, who do you got for the Super Bowl next week?
I'm just trying to think of who's playing. It would be Kansas City and the 49ers.
Where are they from?
They're from NoCal, and I hate...
NoCal?
NoCal.
NorCal?
Northern California. And I hate them.
NoCal.
So I'm going to say Kansas City.
Why do you hate... Do you hate this? You hate the 49ers or do you hate NoCal?
I hate NoCal.
Got it.
So anything that comes from up there. The Giants, the Sharks, Giants, San Francisco Giants.
Yeah.
Oakland. Who are they? Oakland baseball team.
Oakland has a baseball team?
Yeah.
Do they?
And I keep wanting to say Oakland Raiders, but they're not even...
You know, Raiders, I think, moved to Vegas.
I know they did.
Yeah.
They just can't make up their mind where they want to be.
And they're going to call them the Raider Knights.
Seriously?
To go with the Vegas Golden Knights.
Get out of here. The Silver Knights.
The Raider
They
Knights.
probably are, aren't they? Aren't their colors like silver and black? They could call them the Silver Knights.
They were
And then
gonna
they
call
have the
them-
Golden Knights and the Silver Knights.
They were going to call them Oakland Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, keep the Oakland in there because that's a big seller.
Oh, they were going to call them Lost.
It's kind of like our. We have the L.A. Dodgers and then we have the L.A. Angels of Anaheim. It's like, what the fuck? Make up your mind. Are they L.A. or are they Anaheim? Because they're not even close on the map, really. They're at least an hour's driving time apart. And on our freeways, maybe an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's not that far. If there's no traffic, it's not that bad.
Yeah. When do you find no traffic? Sunday nights.
Sunday nights at 9:30 when I drive home from hockey.
Driving home from hockey, that's right. But any other time of the week, forget about it. Forget about it, bud. All right, I'm done.
Okay, wait. So you're Kansas City?
Kansas City.
Okay. Are we betting? Are we putting any money on it?
No, it's a gentleman's bet.
Okay.
So wait, do you like the 49ers? Is that who you'd go with?
No, I think I kind of want to see Kansas City.
I'm actually probably not even going to watch the movie. What's his name is going to a bar.
The movie.
I mean, the
You're
show.
not going to watch the movie.
The TV show. The game.
What's his name? You're not going to watch it with what's his name?
No, he's going to a bar.
What bar is he going to?
I don't know. Some bar in Torrance. There's like a $25 cover charge just to get in. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Ugh.
Like, I'm going to pay to go in and sit with a bunch of drunks and...
How fucking sticky is the floor there, you think?
Ugh, I don't even want to know.
Yeah. Okay.
If you're listening, bar with a sticky floor, clean it up, for
Clean it
God's
up.
sakes. How could you expect us to enjoy ourselves?
My mom, Sandy, is not doing her meet and greet there.
I am not. I'll be meeting and greeting at my house if anyone wants to come over.
Oh.
Well, no.
Careful what you wish for
I know.
there.
I know. What if people show up?
No.
Nobody would show up.
All right,
Nobody listens to us
All
anyway.
right, so we're going to drop this on Tuesday. If you're listening to it, it's Tuesday. If you guys want to come to the My Mom Sandy Super Bowl party on Sunday, drop us a line. She's going to be entertaining. She'll have chips, dip. She'll have chips and dip.
Yeah,
and maybe
a new chip for every quarter.
And Bloody Marys.
Oh, that's right. Bring your own Tito's though, because I've got lots of V8, but I don't have any. I have barely enough Tito's for another drink.
Just one for her.
Tito, that's right. And I'm going to drink the last little shot glass of that stuff, right?
Of that cold medicine.
Yeah. I'll be like getting drunk on my own. Is that a sign of an alcoholic?
That
Drinks
is.
on your own?
Sure is.
All right. Well, then call me what you will. All right. Very good. Stop yawning,
So tired.
Josh.
Okay. That's everything. Yeah. We talked about everything. We're all caught up.
We did. And, yes, it's nice to be back on the air. And, there you go. There you have it.
All right. We will talk with you guys next Tuesday.
Yep, be safe out there, everybody.
Tell everyone that you love them. Not everyone, but the people that you love. Tell them you love them.
And tell us that you love us.
And review us. Oh, and you can get a hold of us on Instagram at My Mom Sandy Podcast, and you can email us because we were telling you that you should email us.
Yeah, just let us know if you're interested in a live episode.
My Mom Sandy Podcast at Gmail.
If you'd be willing to participate, and if Sunday or Monday evenings would be better for you. That would be what we want.
And if we don't hear, we're going to assume you don't want a live episode.
If we hear nothing, then we're just going to assume the live episode is for the birds. We'll just start getting guests on here. That's fun.
We should have Nancy on. Nancy
Neighbor. Exactly. Well, we will have her on.
Do you think we should slip an envelope under the new neighbor's door that notifies them about
and ask them if they want to listen to our podcast?
No, just notifies them about the podcast.
No, I don't think that's a good idea.
Like, listen to this fucking podcast.
They have a 6-year-old, so
not to listen to with the 6-year-old, but just
listen to this podcast when your kid's not around.
Right.
Yeah, that's a great way to advertise it. Or how about listen to this when your kid's around, but put your earphones in.
Yeah, there you go.
Use it. Listen to through your earbuds, please. All right. Well, we'll think about that one between now and next week. Another big yawn coming out of Josh. It is time to go to bed, folks. All right. Listen, be safe out there. And you know what I have to say about that? All right. Very good.